Hello guys, and welcome once again to the MMOs.com podcast. This is episode 37, and this is Altai, joined this week by...
Omer.
Big Gumble.
Matt.
Shirelia.
Alright, we're all here, guys. And as usual, how was everyone's week? I'm going to start with Erhan.
It was awful.
Tell us, Erhan.
And this is the icing on the cake. I've been playing a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Feeding in this game and that game.
That sounds typical.
Yeah.
Typical Erhan plays. Well, Shu and I have been playing Blade and Soul a little bit. And
you have.
Yeah. Matt and
Fun game.
Sean?
You know what Oh, go ahead, Matt. Take it away.
I tried Time of Dragons for about 6 minutes, and within that 6 minutes, I won a game 9-3. So
Nice.
Wait, what is Time of Dragons?
it's a really... the word I used was janky.
Awesome.
It's
Janky.
janky.
Is it like Jenga? What does that mean?
It means it's very like... hold on, let me look up a dictionary definition because I could show you.
janky. You can't just tell from the way he says it. It's kind of janky. Context it up,
It's pretty
Erhan.
What is this game?
contextually defined.
This looks like a game from the
Unresponsive or
90s.
sluggish. Okay, so yeah.
It's a browser game ported to Steam. I made a Grumble for it. So
Oh, really?
Yeah, I did because
That's probably
I
to
am
come
the
tomorrow,
browser
by the
game
way.
master.
I appreciate the grumbles.
Yeah, me too.
So funny thing, Matt got some hate from the developers of this game. Matt called these developers Russian, right? In his in his news article on MMOs.com, and literally the developer comments on our post. He doesn't have a single discuss post. He registered to discuss for one reason: to tell Matt that he's not Russian, he's Belarusian.
He meant World War I Russian.
Oh, of
It
course.
was a historical mistake.
But you know what's funny? Belarusian literally means white Russian. So as long as he's a white guy,
My kind
right?
of country.
he's Russian.
Still, the man was offended.
He just goes, please correct it.
This game looks like that other Steam Dragon game, like that MOBA.
There was a dragon. You know what?
Dragons and Titans?
Yes. Look at Matt. Matt is on point today.
Always.
I never played that, but I saw it. It looked kind of bad.
All right, Matt, you're the dragon guy. All right. So when that Icarus Online comes out, that's on you. All right.
Oh, okay.
All right, for all dragon-related inquiries, send them to Matt at MMOs.com. All right. He's an expert on dragon mating habits, their ecology.
Their ecology.
Do dragons have penises?
They have dorks, kind of like whales.
They're like snakes.
Dorks.
They're kind of inside them.
But they do have them, right? Are they...
Inside them. Like
Matt,
snakes.
you know more about dragon anatomy than I thought. Good job. Assuming you're not making that up. All right.
Well,
Moving on.
I've been playing Fractured Space, which had a free weekend.
Free weekend.
And it's and by playing I mean I played 4 or 5 matches, which is more time I've invested in any MOBA.
Wow.
It's a
It's a MOBA?
spacefaring MOBA. Yeah, you're in space. You control
it's
like a
sort of
giant
MOBA.
space battleship.
It's a
It's kinda
space-faring
like a
MOBA in
MOBA.
space.
Have you ever played Allegiance?
No,
The old school Microsoft game? It's kind of like Allegiance.
This looks cool.
it's interesting because you're in this hulking or space battleship, kind of like space. What is that anime battleship Yamamoto thing? Never mind. But you basically have different areas on a map. It's like a grid, I guess. There's 5 different areas, and you warp into one area, collect resources, and then by capturing points, you can move into the enemy base.
This looks really
But it's cool.
complicated.
This looks like boredom simulator.
It's. I had an itch for EVE
slow.
Online, and this satisfied it. It is a little bit more slow-paced than other
It-
games.
But the reason it's slow is because they're capital ships. You only drive
Right.
like capital ships.
But
So-
if everybody has capital ships. What's the point?
There's a cool
Yeah, there's
capital
different
ship
kinds.
game coming out, right? I think we
Dreadnought.
talked about it. Dreadnought.
Dreadnought.
Yeah,
That's more actiony. This seems more like
This seems like more.
Yeah.
strategic and like.
I've actually played Dreadnought, but I'm under
Oh, well, you
NDA,
can't talk
so I
about
can't
it.
tell you.
Damn.
damn.
What a cock tease.
NDA guys.
I know.
Doesn't this video for this game look like, I'm gonna say, World of Warships, but in space? Think about it.
Yeah,
But a MOBA.
yeah, that is kind of how it plays.
All right, perfect.
Matt, if
I like
Dreadnought,
both.
if Dreadnought's fun, blow your nose. If it's not fun, scratch your beard.
I'm already scratching my beard.
This is how you get around NDAs, boys. All right.
Yeah.
He's not disclosing. He's just doing certain actions.
No, I didn't say anything. I was saying it's flawed because I was already scratching my beard.
Of course, Matt.
Oh, we know what you mean.
I'm
We know.
reporting you.
Pro
We-
tips.
We know.
Reporting you to the NDA police. All right. 911. Matt broke the NDA for this game.
All right. Well, my biggest news of the week.
Well, before we get the news, we have a little announcement.
Oh, we have
I'll do it.
announcements.
We'll be doing a new segment at the podcast at the beginning. It's called the MMOs.com Game Show Extravaganza XX69, all right?
Oh,
I
you gotta
like
get
it.
that 69
I like
in
it.
there.
Oh yeah,
69
we
makes it
discussed this
classy.
in detail before. Yeah, yeah. I remember.
Yeah, so basically,
You forgot 420 Blaze It.
420 Blaze it, MLG at the end, of course, too. So the segment, we're going to take probably 10 minutes or so at the beginning of the podcast, or maybe in the pregame show even, so it won't be in the podcast, where basically we're going to ask questions, and the first one to get a certain amount of points first wins. The question will be displayed on the stream, so everyone can participate, and if you get a certain number of things correct, you're going to win a prize. Next week, we'll be giving most likely a Black Desert online beta key / founders pack / something of that, something of that caliber. So if you want to participate, get some free Black Desert online access, because it is a buy-to-play game. So if you want to get free access, join us on the MMOs.com podcast extravaganza XX69 420 Blaze It MLG.
This is like an incentive to watch live, pretty
Yeah,
much.
I think it'll be fun
I
too.
like it.
And
Yeah.
everyone will be able to
Congrats
participate.
on getting that right, by the way. Like, you got it in the right order.
I know. I'm very proud of myself too. You know what? Before we get to some MMO news, because Shu and I did play some Blade and Soul, a little sneak peek video for what's coming up tomorrow. No, maybe not tomorrow, because it'll probably come later tonight. It's a
sneak
1 minute
peek,
long
boys.
video called Boob and Soul. All right.
Oh, nice.
I like it. I like
This
it.
This is definitely accurate to how physics works.
This is
definitely-
how boobs work, guys.
Did
This
you
is how
guys hear
boobs
my
work.
theory on why the boob physics are so off in Asian games?
Because there are none.
Yeah, they have no boobs, so they don't know how they work. So they just have to just make it up.
They had to hire some white people to figure it out.
You know
Man,
what's
they
funny
really.
in that game? You ever notice when you talk to an NPC, their boobs fly
Yes.
everywhere? It
Yes.
makes sense. It's like you're exerting force energy on their chest.
Yeah, it's every NPC you talk to just jiggles the first second for some
It's
reason.
really ridiculous.
But I mean, I do want to say the cosmetics in Blade and Soul are absolutely gorgeous. Okay, like the character models and just all different wardrobe options. If you like fashionista stuff in MMOs, it's pretty solid. I'll
Yeah.
give it that. Solid.
A lot of cool weapons too. You can skin your weapon right away.
Yeah.
Doesn't cost that much either. I'm still using a level 10 weapon skin that I did a long time ago.
That says a lot for the game because normally the low-level skins kind of the dookie, but everything has its own nice, self-contained aesthetic. Like I wanted that dumb hat from that wheel.
Yeah, I got it
The
too.
Pachinko wheel. I did it 200 times and never got the hat.
Really?
I'm so
Congrats.
disappointed.
That's really bad luck, though.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was
I got the
terrible.
whole set.
I saw that. I was a bit.
I got it really quickly too.
jealous.
Well, speaking of that, I was reading on Reddit the other day that apparently the Hong Moon coins are no longer able to be, they're not drops or whatever anymore, and the other parts you have to have a random chance at to get to craft them, the parts you craft them out of now. And some people are going upwards of 200 times and not getting a single part.
Wow.
Ouch.
Yeah, so I think it crafts one Hong Moon coin with multiple parts.
That's awful.
What a weird name, Hanmoon coin.
Yeah. Well,
That's
this
part
makes
of the
sense
game's
in the game's story. All right.
Oh.
The story.
Story.
Wait, so things cost quite a few Hong Moon coins now. So
The cash out's pretty expensive, by the way. I was looking for the one of the outfits I wanted, the schoolgirl outfit, was a solid $20 for one
Yeah.
outfit. I don't know,
The Tree of Savior's not too far off with their hair skins.
but I feel like I get more value out of a Blade and Soul outfit than one hairstyle in Blade and Soul in.
Oh, definitely.
Nothing
I'm
is
still,
ever going to beat online with the monocle gate and the $70 space monocle.
There was a $70 space monocle.
Guys, I
Yes.
Oh my
direct
God.
your attention to the picture I linked on the stream.
Let's see.
This is when a game has a good story. This is what people mean when they say an Asian game has a good story.
This is on Reddit.
I saw
MMORPG. I
this.
thought it was pretty hilarious.
This is a Skyrim mod though.
Yeah.
But still, with
Somebody
Tera.
identified from the background the hall. Pretty
Mhm.
funny.
This is riveting. It's like a Tolkien story. You really don't get that anymore. Such plot.
Such plot. Much.
Watch it for the plot. Well,
Anyway.
should we transition to some news?
Well, let's start with something news and controversial. We can discuss
Oh,
this.
please. Love
All right,
that.
so
I got something controversial that's not game related. If you guys want later.
we'll save that for later.
All right.
First
for
bit
the
of news
post
here
game.
is about Trove.
Oh.
And
Try on.
let's go show some Trove gameplay while we talk about Trove.
So that's a great idea. I'll watch this trailer at the bottom.
I'll
here.
show the launch trailer. That trailer is the one over there is not that great.
No, you telling me this Minecraft-esque game has bad PvP? Come on.
Come on, I didn't say it was bad. I said that trailer was kind of iffy. So Matt, take it away. You brought this up and you wrote the news for this anyway.
So basically, Trove was for a long time highly regarded because its cash shop was fair and basically like League of Legends, where you could earn in-game cash and then use it to buy classes with, right?
Yeah.
Now they're going to require you to pay for classes, like with real money, or trade on the auction house for a class coin that has to be bought by someone else with real money. So basically, it's like class coin is now becoming Activity's Plex or WoW token. But people are up in arms and they're calling it pay to win, and I'm sitting here like, this just restricts your options. It's like if League of Legends made you pay for classes, it wouldn't be like objectively pay to win. It would just you have to learn how to.
It would make you pay to win. I would say in League. If you just don't have access to a certain character, and somebody picks a character, and like your pick kind of depends on what you can counter, how you can counterplay, if it fits your team role. If you just can't play that character, in a League sense, it'd be pay to win. I'm not saying it's necessarily pay to win in Trove.
That's not really pay to win. That's just you don't know how to play that character.
It's not that you don't know. You just can't play that character. You literally can't get him unless you pay for it with money. You know.
But yeah, people are up in arms about this, and it's just I don't really see the pay to win aspect in this, because in Trove, all of the combat basically comes down to like hack and slash, and if it were automated, it would not be much different than what it is right now. So, I mean, it all comes down to you sit there, you hit the enemies, and you make sure that your potions don't run out, and that's it. You're done. I mean,
well, you can describe the gameplay that way, but still restricting options. I agree. I don't think it's necessarily pay to win, but it's. I think it's a really bad move because a lot of people like Trove. Like, they got so much good publicity from players, and it was it was doing awesome on Steam regularly. In the top charts, people were saying they loved being able to get all the classes in game. It made you work towards something, but now it's pissing off a lot of people. And Tryon has really been this week. Tryon's like, you know what? We feel like pissing off the internet today.
Well, that's a bigger story, right? How this.
Well, I think what happened though is that they weren't making money because nobody was buying the classes, and there's no incentive to buy any of the stuff that you can't buy with qubits, which are the in-game currency. So I don't think they were making enough money off of Trove, so they said, hey, let's do this. Let's make some money.
Okay. However,
I mean, it's a really unrestricted cash shop. All the core items were able to be bought with qubits, which means there's literally even like different mounts and various wings, like which help you fly, which are completely non-essential, but you can fly with them. They could all be bought with qubits.
okay, that's fair. I get that they gave away too much, right? But let's be real. Like, what a bad decision. Why did they just start with a more like medium cash shop and go and keep it that way? You can't start by giving away the house and then just not taking it down.
Well, they might middle it out though, because they went from one extreme to the other. I mean, they could still middle it out.
But you can't go that direction. You can't go more restrictive. You can always go more free, and everyone will be happy, right? But if you start like free and then you go less free, you piss off so many people.
I think the problem is Tryon didn't get free to play right to start with, even in Rift. Like I actually played Rift back around when it first went free to play for a while, and I didn't spend a dime, even though I was playing it like 8 hours a day, right?
Yeah.
I can't say I played Trove as much, but I did play it, and I saw the classes and how I could unlock them, right?
Yeah.
And I saw the path towards it every day, doing the little quests, and I had no reason to spend money at all, zero, zilch, no matter how much I played. So they do have to modulate it somewhere, but again, I don't think they did it, especially with Rift. I don't think they did it right.
Well, the thing is, though, with Trove especially, you can still get classes for free. You just have to trade on the auction house with other players for class coins that they've bought.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
But that's the same system Neverwinter uses, where you can trade regular currency for premium currency. It has to at one way be bought with cash.
But it's still, you don't have to buy it.
Okay, but why can't they just make it so you like? I'd be okay with it if they just made it like twice as hard to get. You know, if it was too easy, I get that. You know, you don't want to make it too easy.
Well, that still gives no incentive. They either make it so grindy that nobody wants to do it and they get pissed off that way, or they make it a paid-for thing and they get pissed off that way.
I mean,
not really.
Completely different, guys. I hate games with dual currency systems for whatever reason.
Well, you need it for cash shops.
No, you don't.
You do.
I don't know.
How else can you do it?
I don't know. You can buy the items. They're invisible.
No, you don't. You don't need it you don't need it for cash shops. What they could do is they could all put it up for $1 cost and just debit it straight off your credit card instead of confusing the fuck out of you and requiring you to buy money that you don't even need.
Exactly.
They couldn't get you to buy more coins than you need to buy the premium status.
Exactly.
Like NCSoft
it's like $10 buys you like 15 coins.
This was they need it. This was an argument of whether they need it.
Oh yeah. Mm.
Yeah, because also, it's almost like when you use a credit card, you spend more money than you intend to if you use cash. It's the same way. They want to make it so, you're not spending any real money. You're spending coins, you know? And it's like a gift card mentality.
Machines.
You always have a little bit of coins left over, you know? Because you can never spend every penny of it. Because the system is designed, almost every game designs it, so you always have something left over. So you end up like, I can keep this amount, or I can spend a little bit more and spend all my coins, you know?
I don't know how it's going, but in theory, I like the way that SkyForge did it. With all the currency trade and everything.
Yeah, that's true. It did seem more streamlined, I guess.
For somebody that just said he doesn't like multiple currencies, SkyForge should be like giving you a migraine, right?
No, it's just, in theory, it's how they did it was really good because you can get every single currency in-game, or you can pay for one currency and trade it for other currencies. So all currencies are in-game currencies used for different things, and it's kind of like different resources rather than currencies.
I still think it was a pretty terrible decision. Look, I get the fact that they need to make money. No one's disputing that they had to make money, okay? But, like, you have to look at it like this way. We have X number of players. By making the decision, we're going to lose a certain percent of our players by pissing them off. Like, you want to get as many people in the game as possible, and to figure out how to monetize them without losing them. I'm not saying it's easy, but...
Well, here's the thing that I'm focusing on. People are fixating on the class thing, but they said that patron status may be required for certain in-game features in the future. Maybe. We don't know yet, but we also don't know what features they might do for. And that is what I'm worried about.
Do you know what this all sounds like to me with what Trion's doing? And this is just a guess. It's just that Trion's games aren't doing well because the whales and everyone who would spend money have jumped to one of the millions of other games, figuratively, that have been releasing lately, right? When you have a market that's this big, how do you retain the people that are going to be spending money in your game when they're likely to jump to whatever the next hot title is?
Yep.
I imagine people spending money in those games are now in Blade and Soul or whatever else there was.
Trove is pretty different than Blade and Soul.
Yeah.
But you are right, the audience is shrinking. Like, I pulled up the Steam charts for this, and it basically, since August, it's been red.
But look at the players online right now. 10,000?
In Trove?
3 minutes ago? It's absolutely amazing still.
And 20 of those are probably paid. Let's be honest, because of the way Trove's business model is.
Okay. Also, another problem with this is more problem with the free-to-play model is for the client-based games. I think the whales are kind of dying down because think about it: the people that have the capacity to spend lots of money, right, to support these games, where have they gone? They've been tricked. They've been duped into playing these shitty Chinese games where they can spend $10,000 or a mobile game where they can spend $5,000.
Yeah.
You can't spend $5,000 on Trove. And you can't spend $5,000 on Blade and Soul. You just can't.
You also can't win by spending $5,000.
Yeah.
If you do spend $5,000, you're not going to win, which is part of what whales like. They like winning by paying.
Yeah. But I mean, I feel like just by those people, their money is being funneled, I think, more towards games that allow you to win, like pay to win, like games like browser games and mobile games, where client-based games still try to maintain somewhat of a balance between cash shop users and free users. I mean, for what it is, even though Trove, for both Rift and for Trove, they made some pretty big changes this week, but it's still not as bad as the Chinese and mobile games. That's a whole nother tier.
Well, I think part of the problem is that free-to-play as a model is kind of built to be deceptive. You're supposed to be able to have the illusion of playing for free until you hit a certain point. and then you're supposed to have to pay at least a minimal amount because they have to stay open. But I mean, the thing is, it's deceptive. I mean, buy to play, we know we have to pay our upfront fee. Subscription, we know we have to pay monthly.
But both subscription and buy to play have cash apps too now.
Free to play, you can't play for free and expect the game to stay open. Like,
look at. But other games do it better. Is what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying, I'm just saying the avenue they took, I think, wasn't
like,
right.
Right now, I have no idea how Path of Exile is staying open because there is no way that even like 50% of their audience is buying cosmetics every single month.
But look at Tera, and I think Blade and Soul's model is going to work pretty well. Even though the cosmetics are expensive, I feel like you get value out of them because one, the character models are gorgeous, and the skins look pretty cool. All right, like I could see myself spending like $30, boom, get a new outfit, get a new hairstyle,
Yeah, but I would do it once in Blade and Soul. I would pick whatever outfit I really wanted.
But when you think about it, I'm not going to spend more than $100 on Blade and
No.
Soul. Like, there's almost no chance I'll spend more than 100, right? But I could see myself getting to the 100. And if I spend 100, that's 2 retail games right there. I make up for two people that didn't buy it.
But you're not. I don't think you're representative of the.
No, the average customer spends probably way more than 100. The people that do spend money, so usually more.
Oh,
than
the people that do spend money,
yeah.
Sure.
So I'd probably be below average customer, like Shirley, for example.
No.
What did she? How much have you spent now?
Well, I'm actually going through their customer support right now because I feel like I got duped, but I probably spent.
Are you crying foul?
Buyer's
I am
remorse.
crying foul.
Buyer's remorse.
No, I actually have a legit reason to be mad. Like, they have this transmutation system, and I bought. Okay, I was having a bad day. So I bought a bunch of these like $10 outfits, right? I want to say I bought like 8 of them or 10 to 8 of them.
What game is this again?
Blade and Soul.
Blade and Soul.
Okay.
I bought 8 to 10 $10 outfits, and I salvaged them because you could fuse them together to craft this this random outfit gacha, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is like, I mean, whatever. It's like a unique outfit. Not a lot of people will have it, right? So I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. Like, I'll get one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not having a good day, so I'll do it. And then I crafted it, and it failed. And I was like, wait a minute. You can fail this $100 like in real life, because that's the only way to get the materials is to salvage cash shop items. There's like no other way to get the materials to craft it. So I was like, wait, you can fail a craft that costs $100 like USD? I was like, what?
Looks like you got the
and then it like didn't say anywhere that it could happen. So I was like, what the fuck, right? And so like I've been messaging them. I'm not even asking for a cash refund. I'm asking for like NC coin refund, and they were like, yeah, our translation is bad. By the way, the translation is fucking horrible in that game. I don't know if you've been through that yet, Omer, but a lot of the talents refer to skills that just don't exist in the game, and like it's all messed up. And they're like giving me a hard time about refund. I'm like, come on, guys, like your translation is trash. It doesn't like tell you anything. Like it's unfair. And they're telling me like, oh, our systems don't have the capacity to deal with this kind of problem. So keep a lookout on the forums, and we'll let you know. I'm like, no, I want my money now, dude. Like, look, I've spent like $300 on your game. Don't fuck me over. Like. Oh my god, dude.
I think what they're trying to tell you is no refunds. Just deal with it.
I mean, it should tell you though if you're getting fail or not. I accept that. I mean, also, what does it cost them? What does it cost them to refund you anyway? Nothing. They're refunding our funny money, NC coins. Who cares?
Yeah, I'm not asking.
NC coins are like the new Bitcoin, guys. Come on.
Yeah, real world value.
Yeah.
You mean the new Bitcoin?
I'm not asking them. Here, I can actually bring up the email and show you guys.
I mean, we believe you, Shu.
The technology isn't there yet, right?
I wanna read what they said. It's like a lot of bullshit, pretty much. It's like.
I want to bring up something else in Blade and Soul terms. I get it, Shu. You grouchy over your Endcoin refund.
Okay, it's like, I personally understand that you want to be compensated. However, blah 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 blah. Again. Where is it?
Should they basically telling you to deal with it?
Deal with it.
Deal with it, Shu.
Okay,
Yep.
any information about compensation or reimbursement is not yet available. Like, what the fuck does that mean? Like,
It means
The game is
haha, we
live.
have your money.
jeez.
Yeah. I told you earlier. If you're persistent, you'll get you'll get it. Just keep pressing them. And
Just
it'll-
rest-
rest
assured that, like,
get things taken
Rest
care of.
assured that your development team is working around the clock to quickly resolve this confusion. It's like, okay, they're
Yeah,
trying to
Optimus told me
resolve the
that too.
confusion. They admit there's a fucking confusion. Like, what the fuck? You know, like, come on. Oh my god.
What they're saying is, please wait until we fix the description, and then we can blame you for not reading it.
There you go.
Mm,
That's some MMO Korean logic right there.
I'm gonna keep. They're like, well, I was like, can I talk to a lead? They're like, well, the lead is gonna tell you the same thing. I said, I don't care. I want to talk to a lead or your manager, whoever the hell takes care of your shit, because it's not right.
Well,
You should tell them the customer is always right. Peace.
I don't really believe in that.
You should
but-
say, look at this screenshot. I assure you, I was misled, right? And then link the lemon party.
that's a good idea. Great idea.
I feel like that's the only avenue to take right here.
Oh man.
It'll show them who's in charge.
Or I mean, my advice is, just don't spend that much money on games.
You know,
I mean, why would you fuck over someone that spends that much money on your game? Though? I don't understand. Like, it's like, it doesn't make sense. It's like, don't you want them to be happy so then they spend more? It's retarded.
Anyway, I want to say one more thing about Blade and Soul before we move on to something else, because I mean, it's still a popular game, but I feel somebody made this comment on the YouTube video, and I've been hearing this a lot actually. So, what do you guys think if Blade and Soul was split into two different games? Because let's be real, the PvP they say is the main sell, okay? And from what I'm seeing, it totally is. In fact, a lot of people say the PvE is very lackluster too. Like you get to max level through a very average experience. Though I do like the gameplay, so it's still an average PvE experience, but the gameplay makes it slightly more fun. But the PvP the arena PvP is what everyone's really looking to play. So
Yeah, but you can level up in PvP, right? So
Yeah.
you earn experience for every win, and then I felt that levels 1 to 15 was the game's version of the tutorial. And then once you hit 15, you could just sit in the
yeah, but you don't. But the way you don't have all the skills unlocked. You automatically get boosted level 45
I see
stats,
what you're saying.
but your skills
Yeah,
are
yeah.
unlocked and your talents are unlocked. So
Yeah,
only when you get to
that's a cool
45
idea.
do you get everything.
Mhm.
Well, how about based on that description, instead of making two games, just turn it into a PvP arena game?
No, but
Yeah, who cares? Like, that's the thing. Like, I think one of the reasons MMORPGs are doing so bad, like, recently, is their entire leveling experience is so, like, retarded. Like, you just click around with one hand.
Can
you know?
you
like-
gather some
Well-
lemons for me?
I think part of the problem is they realize that nobody gives a shit about the leveling experience. They just all want to get to the end game and play whatever's at the end game, so they put minimal effort into it because it's just all about sticking to tradition.
it's still tradition.
That's true. That's true. A lot of games, the only reason they have the leveling is out of tradition. Like, they don't even want to be MMORPGs. They just are for some reason.
But it helps set up the world too, because I don't know. It's
Not really.
it's
You
weird.
can't have a
All
good
you're
world
gonna
without a
do
good
is
leveling.
a PvP arena. Who gives a shit about the world?
Exactly.
I don't care what the world.
Matt, I want to walk around and show off my cosmetics. I can't do that in the lobby-based PvP game.
You just can't. Just have the whole game is one city that's persistent, right? Of people running around talking to, like,
Yeah,
little
they can
enchanting
do
The
that.
things.
winning putt country club. That's
Yeah,
Blade.
yeah.
There
like-
you go.
Yes. Okay, that's perfect.
There's some merit to the art. Shit, what do you think about that? Because you played the most out of us, but I feel like I just want to get to max levels in PvP.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's a new game, so I don't know if they should be doing that right away, but maybe in the future.
I mean, yeah, I'm not saying they should do it. I'm just saying I
It's
feel like
not a new game, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, it's not a
years
new
old.
game. It's from 2012.
It's a new game in the West, and
But
that's the
that doesn't-
context. That's the
But that
context
doesn't
of
really
it.
mean anything, though,
Ow.
because it's already been marketed to millions of other people who could have said the same thing, for all we know.
I just feel like the PvP is fun. Let people do it right away, or at least one thing they could fix right away. I think is when you get to 15, you do arena PvP, right? It should give you all the skills and all the talents only when you're doing PvP, and then problem solved.
I think that's a good alternative.
middle ground.
Because what's the point of what's the difference like between having it and not having it in in only PvP? I mean, they already boost you to 45 and they give you
Yeah.
comparable gear already.
Yeah.
what's the point in not doing that? I guess they didn't want to like make a separate talent tree for only PvP, but I mean they should have done that. It's like, what's the difference?
I mean, to me, Blade and Soul, from what I've seen, doesn't even, like you guys said, because there's such a big disconnect between the instance PvP and like the lackluster leveling. Like, it just doesn't seem like a coherent MMORPG that I would like.
It's still fun. I'm enjoying myself. It just does feel easy, but there is that. Again, the PvE isn't like necessarily bad. It's just very.
You've done it already.
It's nothing new. You go to the quest hub, get all the quests, you do the quests.
Like, but do you feel any connection to the environment? Like, or is you just running through it?
No,
Like,
but more so than other
No.
games. You do get the cool cutscenes and stuff, which
The environments are gorgeous. On maxed out settings, I think the game looks great.
Yeah.
I don't understand the comments that say it looks bad, maybe on lower settings. But maxed out, I think the game, especially with the UI turned off, it has that distance blur, Black Desert does too, and it makes it look really polished, smooth, oily. Everyone's
Oily.
oiled up.
Because the characters are oiled up. Their moves
Yeah,
are nice
they
and
are.
oiled up. Somebody asked when H1Z1 is going to come out.
Never.
Never. There you go.
Who's
Nobody
saying
knows.
Never. Someone's gonna
whenever
know.
Quest Next comes out.
I don't know. I look at Blade and Soul, and there's something. I mean, I don't know if it's just like the entire thing looks like it has this orangey yellow tint over it or whatever. But something about the graphics just bothers me. It
Really?
I love them.
bothers me.
Yeah, I think it looks
I
fantastic.
oogle at my character sometimes. Just like taking off the interface. I'm like, damn. The character
Yeah,
models
without
are
that,
great.
for some reason, interfaces totally ruin the aesthetics of a game world for me, and I started noticing it with Black Desert, but Blade and Soul especially too, because
Yeah.
it's night and day.
You know what the funny thing is, though? If you try to turn off the interface, you can't play anymore.
Why?
I mean, you could technically.
Technically, but like
Yeah.
I mean, I've tried doing it, and I can't. I
I can
can't.
grind mobs. I couldn't PvP with the interface off.
you
can
could if
grind
you're
mobs. Yeah, if I ain't pro, and I ain't going pro anytime soon. I'm too old to go pro.
You're washed up, kid.
I am. I'm Rocky's trainer, an old drunk who just can't go pro.
Can I talk about Black Desert Online yet?
Yeah, let's go to Black Desert.
Let's
Online.
transition to another
All right,
beautiful
all right.
game. Like,
So we're talking about
Let's
great
do the screenshot
games. We're
first.
talking about great games here, you know.
Oh, great games. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Well, a great looking games. Great looking.
Great
games.
looking
My bad,
games.
My bad.
Take
What
a
is
look at
this?
the screenshot anyway for this great looking game. I thought it was pretty funny. Shit, you
Uh,
notice anything on the screenshot? It's underlined for you.
Let me take a look.
It was on Reddit
Yeah.
today. I thought it was pretty funny.
Well, that was on Reddit a while ago. People are just bringing it back
Yeah.
up because
Yep.
they're being salty about everything.
Because it's hilarious.
That's funny. Is this real?
Yeah.
What's going on?
This is real, boys.
Well, they do. I mean, honestly, why not just copy? Like, there's no need to be original with this stuff. So
I agree.
don't
There's
blame
no
them.
reason. I have no problem with the copy paste. It's just hilarious that they did an awful job of copy pasting and leaving that part in.
Yeah, that's
Holy
pretty
crap, that's a big mistake.
It's a
Nice.
hilarious mistake.
Well, that was actually before the founders packs really went live. It
Yeah.
was they accidentally made it public
Yep.
before they were ready.
So and this wasn't actually advertised. It was somebody stumbled upon the Founders Pack page on their domain. So they weren't done with it. They clearly copied and pasted it as a format, but they left that part in. I'm sure they fixed it when it actually became public.
So here are the
I-
real
I-
founders packs right now.
The best part about it though is everybody's like, "Oh no, these prices are too high. They can't be finalized." And I'm like, "They're probably going to be the prices." And then they came out and it was the prices. And I'm like,
I'm not a big fan of Black Desert Online.
No?
Really?
No.
Well, it's gonna come out March 3rd. That was the news. That's the official release date.
Yep.
What's up?
"Oh no, just keep going."
Oh, if you buy it ahead of time, you get. If you buy the mid-tier pack, you get 2 days pre-release time or whatever, and then the complete pack or the $100 one gives you 4 days. You can play 4 days before release, which I thought was kind of weird, but
4 days. Wow.
I don't know. What is that? What does that mean? How can you play half a week before me just because you paid $100?
Is it worth the extra $50? I don't know. I don't think so.
Not really, because you're gonna be playing with nobody. It's gonna be like just people who paid $100.
Those are your
You
friends.
paid $100 too? Yeah, me too. Let's be friends.
That was
okay.
literally the Albion Online experience we had. We started going on, and everybody spent like $100.
Yeah. I think Black Desert is a lot better visually, but there's one thing that really killed it for me. Like, I really like the spell effects, I really like the character designs and everything, but dear God, the foliage pop in. Like, even on the highest settings, it is so noticeable watching the grass line just go out in front of you.
Really, on the highest settings, I didn't notice.
That's
I
not
did
really a
not notice
deal
it.
breaker. Come on.
On the low
It's
settings when we were trying to
annoying.
record, I noticed
It's
it.
not a deal breaker, but it's annoying.
I don't
It
know.
is very annoying.
I was looking forward to Black Desert Online until I'm playing. I'm enjoying Blade and Soul still. I mean, I might stop enjoying Blade and Soul by the time March 3rd rolls around, but I'm still enjoying Blade and Soul. So my itch for a game is kind of satisfied right now.
Oh, well, that's nice. All right, for me, I think I'm gonna try Black Desert and try to see how far I
Yeah,
can get.
I'm also gonna try
All
Black
right, Sean,
Desert.
you and me. Let's do it.
We're gonna do it.
I haven't really gotten to play it because of the VPN thing with the Russian one, but what I played of it, one thing I'm really concerned about is that the whole, what is it, you can own buildings and produce things or something in towns, I can't remember, but whatever it is, that part sounds really kind of shallow, I guess. It seems like it was tacked on. And that
Probably,
concerns me a little
right?
bit.
But I guess it's better than not having it. Like that's the thing. Like even when we played Black Desert during that
Alpha.
I think Alpha Sunday Funday, whatever it was, we did.
Mhm.
Like just walking around between towns and stuff, like seeing the NPCs, walking around, the buildings populated.
It was cool.
It kind of brought back that whole feeling of like a persistent virtual world, right? An MMORPG. Where so many games I play today, it just feels like I'm just checking boxes, like it doesn't feel like a world.
I've been waiting here for 30 years to give you this quest. I've never even moved.
But I agree with Aaron in a way because the game, it doesn't feel like a Korean MMORPG, does it? It almost has
Exactly.
a Western vibe to
Good
it.
point.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I noticed watching this trailer again. It really doesn't like Blade and Soul. It looks like a Korean MMORPG, you know.
Oh, heavily.
This could have been Western, you know. Not that Western is better. It's just the art style and
No,
the
it's better. It's
presentation.
better. It's better.
Well, I think you're objectively wrong though. Look at the most popular MMORPGs in the world. They're Asian games.
Well, yeah, for other Asian
Icarus
people.
Online right now is not even in the West, and it's one of the most popular MMOs right now.
Well, Icarus again doesn't look. It looks kind of Korean, right? But not really. It actually looks like Black Desert to me a lot in the ground part.
Guys,
I think this is a little unfair,
Which one?
like judging it based on aesthetics and it looking
it's
quote
just
unquote.
one. I mean,
No.
we're not giving the game a pat. We're not writing
Yeah.
the review. We're just bantering.
no,
but-
you don't think Black Desert has a distinct not like Korean look to it? The character models are
No.
Korean, but the world and the graphic style doesn't.
No,
look Korean.
I think it just looks AAA. Like a lot of
What does that
Korean
mean?
games
it means
say
white.
they are, but it looks very like high end. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It just looks high end, and I think what you guys are trying to say by Korean is just the like lower end.
No, Blade and
No,
Soul looks
no,
gorgeous. But the art style is Korean.
Here's the thing, right? Korean MMOs, or East Asian MMOs, are they default to an anime aesthetic? If that's a better way to describe
Okay,
it.
so that's what you guys are saying.
Yeah.
It still looks great. Blade and Soul is I still say it looks gorgeous, maxed out and everything.
I was
Blade and
very
Soul
impressed with you,
it
but-
feels much more.
So you guys are saying the whole anime aesthetic then?
Yeah.
That's what you're saying. It looks. That's
Yeah,
what,
I guess
Right.
realistic
It's hard to put
versus.
into words.
Yeah, no, I got it. Realistic. But Black Desert Online looks realistic, trying to look realistic.
Yes.
While Blade and Soul not as much.
Have you seen the proportions on Blade and Soul characters? They all look like they were on Nero's stretcher. Everyone is just elongated, like Gumby, just stretched out like Play-Doh.
Well, see what.
Ridiculous.
Well, see, I thought you guys were trying to say that they look lower end. It's because
No.
like
No.
even Eloa, like it claims AAA, but you look at it and it looks like
Really?
mid tier.
No, they literally claim triple action, not triple
No,
A.
they did claim AAA too. They said
It's-
it
A must stand for
So
action.
they can't say triple action, triple A. It just sounds weird.
Action, action, action.
was,
Come on.
they claimed that they had a AAA budget.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I could blow a AAA budget too, and I'll give you RPG makers.
As
So
hookers up low.
it doesn't matter how much the budget doesn't make it AAA.
Maybe
But,
you'll pay off a mortgage.
You do realize that there are Western MMOs that have an anime aesthetic and are almost indistinguishable from popular Korean MMOs, right?
Like what?
WildStar, that's it, maybe.
They're
No.
No, WildStar definitely feels Western.
No.
Yeah.
No, I feel like WildStar could have passed off as Asian.
Nope. The truth is no.
WildStar is a WB Saturday morning cartoon.
It's not passing my test.
Sure
Wow.
hates WildStar. That's what I've learned.
I hated that game.
Wow.
Shots
Well,
fired.
this is a good transition because WildStar is predicted to not do too well coming in 2016.
Big
You wanna-
surprise
Yeah.
there.
Expecting zero revenue from the biggest Korean investment bank. Well, NCSoft expect to make almost $0 from WildStar at Q4
Look
2016.
look how surprised I look.
it is cartoony, not anime. So it reminds me of almost the art style in Overwatch too. It does have a Western and a cartoony look. But
I think
feel like
Overwatch looks nicer.
I think Overwatch looks more Western than WildStar, yeah. Or is that just me?
Well, guys, well, you guys are figuring that out. WildStar is coming to Steam in 2016, so I think that'll open it up to a bigger audience.
That
They
might
should have
help
done that
them
from
out.
day one.
I think that, yeah, if the day they went free to play,
why didn't they do
they
that?
should have been on Steam.
Yeah.
What
definitely.
is there some reason that there's an aversion to Steam, especially as a free to play title?
Well, there is. They get 30% cut, over 30% cut of all the
But
money.
say it's a free to play title, what are they getting a cut of?
The cash shop.
In-game transactions?
No,
Yeah.
they aren't. No, they aren't.
Really?
No, they are. Not for
They
cash
only
shop.
get a cut out of stuff they buy on the Steam platform, right?
Yes.
So if they
Yeah.
don't hook
Like
the
premium
cash,
status.
if they
Matt's
don't
explaining it. Yeah.
if they don't hook the cash shop or the subscription into the Steam platform, Steam doesn't get any money.
So why would Steam be hosting their
I'll tell
bandwidth?
you. Very often you'll see on Steam when you go to the Neverwinter page, the whatever game MMO you go on, right? It'll say buy this bundle, a Steam only
Yeah.
bundle. Like you can unlock certain things. So when you buy through Steam, you get it. And some games do have some stuff through Steam. And I'm sure like Steam nudges the big games like, okay, you want to use our platform? Have a Steam only bundle, it'll encourage more sales. And then they probably will have a Steam bundle, but again, it won't be a big percent of all their revenue.
Well, I think part of the reason there's an aversion to Steam with MMOs is that they're already building a community on their own launcher platform or in their own thing, and they don't really need another community in their community. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of like Art Games has its own platform for MMOs, but a lot of those MMOs are smaller here in the West.
Yeah.
A lot of the
But a lot of
other-
those games are on Steam now too, including Swordsman Online, which just went on Steam.
I
I'm
like
not-
WildStar.
I'm
just gonna
talking
say
like
it.
Elsword and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm talking those. They're kind of smaller here in the West. They're doing well, but they're not like
Mega popular, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Fair enough.
So they're probably using that as a platform for them to get more users. But the ones that are already doing well have no incentive to go to Steam because they have their own community. They're self-contained within their own little launcher platform. And I think that's why they don't. And that's why you don't see like WoW and Hearthstone on Steam, even though you see Call of Duty, which is Activision's biggest franchise, on Steam.
Yep.
Blade and Soul, Steam, yes or no?
I think it should be, but they're not going to yet because they don't need to. There's no like, I feel like a lot of these decisions for every game, it's almost reactionary. Nobody does anything proactively. They wait till something starts going bad, like okay, we gotta fix something, And then if less people start going on Blade and Soul, then we'll see it go on Steam.
That's fair. What else? So Blade and Soul, apparently, WildStar's supposed to be getting a content update too, right? Like an expansion or something.
No, well, I don't know about WildStar. I know Blade and Soul is for February 10th.
Just getting a content update. I don't think they're gonna call it a expansion.
All right, so something funny just happened in the chat. This guy said, Guild Wars 2 failed. That's why it's the most profitable game on their NCSoft, right? Because he was talking to somebody else talking smack about Guild Wars. And I said, it's not. Lineage 1 is the most popular game. And he had the perfect response. I retained the right to spout nonsense on the internet. Which is just perfect.
I like it.
So, the rules of the internet, just say whatever you want. Hope nobody fact checks it. And then retain the right to spout nonsense. And just, you can share this on the Steam, the thing again, because it shows the revenue for WildStar, Guild Wars 2, and Blade and Soul. And of course, these are just projections, and I don't know if they kept into account of the Blade and Soul Western launch, which they probably did, because these projections came out on the 19th.
Yeah, that's probably why they're showing an uptick, right?
Yeah. But, I mean, did they expect this kind of uptick in America? I mean, all those queues. A lot of people bought premium just to get on. And people are spending money in game. I see the premium skins.
I will say the Blade and Soul launch kind of reassured me that the genre is still alive and that there is a demand, right?
Yeah.
For an MMORPG specifically, not just an arena. Like whether, because most people buying it probably don't know exactly what it is. They just know it's an MMORPG. They don't know it's an arena PvP game in disguise, right?
Yeah, because it does feel a bit like an arena PvP game.
But I think people are buying and trying it because there's such an itch still for that big, legit MMORPG.
Yeah. And we'll try to relive that love of MMO.
I can't really say about the MMORPG community at large, but from what I read of the MMORPG subreddit, a lot of people are really pedantic, and they'll be like, "This sounds great, except for one feature," and I'm not even going to like try it because of this one feature. And I'm sitting there like, "You're serious right now? This one feature is going to kill this entire game?"
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. There's very few features that are just deal breakers like that.
But there are a lot of people that do that, and I've read it over and over and over, and I don't know if it's like the majority of people or just the vocal minority.
Can you
But
give an example of one feature that has so much contention that it would make people not want to do that?
I don't remember offhand.
I know one. Remember Matt said the foliage in Black Desert Online just rubbed the wrong way?
Oh, yeah.
So there you go, Matt. You fit the community that stereotype perfectly that you just described.
It's not going to keep me from playing the game. It's just annoying. It's annoying. I hate watching pop-in like that.
I mean, like, for me, it's like if the gameplay isn't compelling, then I just get bored.
But the gameplay,
play it.
the gameplay is important, obviously. That's why.
Oh, here, I got one. Most of them, the majority of the genre is still tab targeting. People will go, "Oh, it's a tab targeting MMO. I'm going to not try it."
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
why are you playing MMOs then?
I mean, I wouldn't play an MMO that was like, unless it had like something else that was like even more compelling that like came up. Like like if a game was like, oh, it's a tab targeting like WoW style MMO, I just wouldn't play it.
Yeah, you've had your fill of WoW style MMOs.
Yeah, I've played so many of them that I'm bored of it, and I mean that's what draws me to Blade and Souls, that it's a fresh new combat, right?
Yeah.
But like,
The combat is not pulling it off for me. Like I'd rather shoot myself.
The
than play
combat
Tera.
is solid. You'll play arenas and then you'll see.
You gotta play arenas, and you gotta play later, because I felt the same way too, Erhan, in like the first couple of levels, but once you get to like, I want to say 25-ish, when you start to actually get your combos, you kind of see like how the combat
it's genuinely
But
skill based.
I guess it depends what you want from an MMORPG, right? Like for me, like combat in real life, like I guess an MMORPG is kind of like trying to be like a world, right? Like an Ultima Online or whatever, you're walking around, you get ganked, you fight. It's like real life. There's a big build up, but the battle is quick, right? But in Blade and Soul, I don't like the whole instance arena thing. I should
You
say.
have world PvP too.
Yeah, world PvP is fine.
That's fine. They have it.
I do a lot of world PvP, and like if you're like pretty good and pretty decently geared, like you can be really strong. Like if you know what you're doing in PvP, like I logged in the other day to like, I want to say like 4 dudes ganking me, and like 2 of them were the same, like they were at max level, and I killed all of them. And like you can do that if you know what you're doing in the game.
If you're good enough, you will always
If people
win.
are super trashy, like they won't even be able to hit you. That's like the kind of PvP that it is. It's not like
It's nice.
okay, well,
Yeah.
stepping back a bit, I take issue with the whole tab targeting is automatically bad thing. I think, like any other combat system, the thing is, it has to be fluid and it has to be good. Like shooters, people will continuously play shooters that barely change under the condition that it plays well. It has to be smooth. It has to play well. That's like literally it.
Yeah.
But the shooting in the shooter is like part of like the core gameplay of the shooter.
And for a long time, tab targeting was part of the core gameplay of MMORPG.
Yeah, but it's not cutting it anymore because there's so many other action type games, and it's not even that. It's like when you're playing a shooter, all the other elements are what define the shooter. It's not the combat. Whereas like an MMO, like the combat defines like a lot of the game, right? Like
I don't agree with that.
it's not the fact.
That's a core problem with MMOs, though, not with combat.
I say combat is not the main reason people play a game. It's a big feature, but it's not like FPS.
It's a big feature, but it's like in an FPS, it's like when you point and you click. That's just like kind of a core feature. Yeah.
Sure.
Sorry.
Let's pretend hypothetical MMO, okay?
Okay.
Best crafting system in the world, okay? You find it unbelievably fun, right?
Uh-huh.
Best player housing system in the world. You find it unbelievably fun. Best like social features. Best cosmetics, right?
Mm-hmm.
But tab targeting, is that a deal breaker for you? Where everything else is just so good that makes you want to like.
No, I said that earlier.
Yeah,
I said that the other things in the game have to be way more compelling. But like, I am less inclined to play the game if you tell me it's tab targeting.
But it's
like,
not a deal breaker.
not 100%.
Okay. That's the key.
What I think is outdated, personally, speaking of that guy going on about outdated tab targeting, is games without cover shooting.
A lot
I
of
mean,
games don't have that though.
Exactly. But it's outdated. Games are moving to cover shooters slowly.
Console games are, well, some tactical PC games are too, but still, Counter-Strike's
but-
not a benchmark. Okay, what Counter-Strike does is the mainstream for PC gaming.
But it's outdated. It's the same formula it's been using since 1999.
It's
Yeah.
different though. I mean,
No,
like
it's the same formula. Come on. What changed between CS 1.6 Source and
Okay,
CS:GO?
so if I
no,
can say,
I'm saying that the gameplay in Counter Strike is different. Like it's
Yes.
very it's tactical in a different way than cover shooting. Like in those cover shooting games, like it's more about like flanking your enemy, but in this one it's kind of more about reading what they're gonna do. In Counter Strike,
I'm gonna defend tap targeting here. When we played WildStar, right? Do you remember like the skills were dodgeable and shit, but it was still tap targeting, right? You remember we kind of dueled too? All us four, I think.
I didn't like WildStar, so I'm not gonna I have nothing to add.
You still had skill shots.
Yeah, you had skill shots. It was fluid.
WildStar was a kind of a fun combination where it took what I think of as traditionally in MOBAs, and combined it with tab targeting. And I enjoyed the combat system. For whatever reason, I didn't play WildStar is beyond the combat, but I think that was a good blend, and I think that it shows that it was trying to evolve.
Yeah, like
the tradition.
I didn't play Blade and Soul. I don't want to compare it to that, but Tera. People told me, like, I remember when that Tera came out, the whole hype was like action combat, right?
Yeah, it was solid.
Tera is ass. Like the combat in Wild, even
What?
What are you talking about?
I hated Tera. I'd rather shoot myself than play Tera. The combat
Wrong
in
word.
WildStar.
I really liked Tera, and it was because the healing experience was great. You had to aim and target people and actually like
You mean like
plan out your heals.
poop little balls?
Let's
in
hear
your hands?
Erhan's
rant.
explanation.
Okay, so combat in Star Wars: The Old Republic, which is tap target, and in WildStar, tap target, just felt so much more hands-on, even though it was tap targeting to me than it did in Tera.
You're comparing your max level character in Star Wars Old Republic, where you have 1,000 skills, right? Which is just stupidly designed anyway.
Well, I got
to
there last
your level
level.
10 character in Tera, where you had like 4 skills. How is that a fair comparison?
Even at level 10 in Star Wars, I felt like zoom, 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 zoom. I'm
No,
doing
no,
shit.
you didn't.
Picking shit up, like rocks were
What are you
flying.
talking about?
You didn't play it. No, Tera just felt like, I don't know. It just felt like, you know what it felt like? It felt like every other free-to-play Korean grinder.
No.
Okay, here, I've got a great example of how action combat is sometimes worse. Okay, Neverwinter, where you lock in your place, you have to stand still while you're casting spells. Why the hell would you have action combat where you have to stand still while casting?
You know, I never thought about that, but that makes sense. Because I played Neverwinter to almost max level before I quit. And yeah, it's weird that you
Well, it
stand
makes sense.
still.
You're channeling energy from the earth. It comes up to
That's
the bottom
bullshit.
of your feet. It comes up to the bottom of your feet. If you move, you break the energy channel.
Well,
That's how
not
chi
just
works.
channeling. Was it the same way with auto attacks too, or no?
I don't remember.
Because I'm trying to think.
I quit in the, like level 5 because I was tired of standing still while casting.
I got way further than you.
Guys, I just want to note that
Yeah,
the people in the comments are agreeing with me on Tera, so I feel vindicated. I'm glad I got off my chest that I didn't like Tera.
You're not vindicated because
It's
you're still
one thing-
wrong.
It's one thing if you have to stand still when you're tab targeting. You're standing still most of the time when you're tab targeting anyways.
Yeah.
But to have to stand still in action combat is just so bullshit.
Every spell in D&D in that game is a ritual. Okay, 1 minute cast time.
You have to draw the circle on the ground.
Yeah. You know what's funny is in D&D, like most of the spells are instant cast. How fucking hilarious is that?
I did like Neverwinter though. I did like Neverwinter. That was fun.
I mean, no. I thought the combat. Well, I'm comparing to Blade and Soul now because I played that more recently. Blade and Soul's combat is way more fun. And talking about the stopping in Neverwinter reminded me like how much I appreciate when I play Blade and Soul. I just jump around auto attacking sometimes. It just feels nice to just always be jumping around, dodging enemies and auto attacking, and moving while attacking. You know, moving while attacking is a solid feature, right?
Yeah, a lot of games have that though. Even tab targeting games have that stuff like that.
Did
these
you
days.
guys get to max level in Tera at all?
No. I know you did.
It was actually pretty fun, the combat. But I played tank though, so I don't know what you played, Erhan. Maybe.
I mean, I was there day one in Tera on the Western version, like when it was pay to play, like the beta, everything. I was so
Yep.
hyped. I played it. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm just playing a Korean grinder, like, and I'm paying for it. Why? I just.
I'm not sure what happened there.
I don't know. It just felt like every other Korean game. I
Maybe
played.
you picked.
You picked the wrong class, all right? Something that didn't vibe with you because
possible.
Wait, are we talking about Tera again? Sorry,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
zoned out. Yeah, Tera was a different game when it was pay to play. It was balanced differently. It was a lot harder. You actually needed to use teamwork to take down BAMs. I mean, it was a completely different game.
Dude, BAMs were so fun, dude. Freaking love
Not
BAMs.
anymore.
Huh?
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Oh.
Dude, I had so much fun in PvP in Terra and like PvE. Like there's like the frame canceling and all sorts of fun stuff you could do. Combos.
Tera, I mean, Blade and Souls kind of fell in the same gap that Tera did back then when it came out.
The gameplay is a lot different though than Terra.
I think Blade and Soul is going to surprise people in the West how it's doing. I think it already surprised people how quickly it got 1 million users.
It definitely surprised in popularity, but I don't think the pop's gonna last.
I mean,
Never does.
But the pop never lasts. It's going to dip, but I don't think it's going to dip much. It's going to stay steady, and then it might rise again even.
It's the only MMO that offers what it offers, I think.
Yeah, it's actually unique. Okay, like genuinely different.
Well, what did I say it was the other day? I was like, I did like a double.
You see, it was really
very
unique.
Very unique.
Yeah, and you can't be very unique. The grammar doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Well, I want to bring up a piece of news. We're talking about popularity of games and stuff. So,
Right.
this last week, a classic MMORPG made it to Steam finally, and that game is Night Online. This game
I
has
wanna know about it.
23,000 people playing it right now,
That's impressive.
and this game is like I think it's from 2004 or 2002 or something.
And it looks disgusting for a game that's 2004, 2003.
And it's apparently pay to win.
Oh yeah, it's of course.
It is. That's for
I
sure.
also point out that those numbers aren't just impressive; they're huge. That puts Night Online in the top 20 most
On
popular
Steam.
games on Steam.
It's
Which
more
is
popular
insanity.
than Trove, more popular than probably more
It's sitting
popular than
above
Tera.
HCC one.
Just
I've never
look what this game
actually-
looks like.
I've never actually played that game. I once downloaded it, saw that the queue was going to be like an hour or something, quit, and never tried again.
But when a game has a queue, it tells you something. It tells you the game is pretty hella popular.
You know what's crazier when you look at this Steam chart is not only is Night Online popular, but looking at every other game, it's pretty much the only traditional MMORPG in this top 20 list. Night
Yeah.
Online, most popular MMORPG on Steam.
Yeah.
Nuts.
Thoughts on that?
I did a video for it. It's full of Turkish players.
Yeah.
Turks
our-
love that game.
It's our bread and butter.
Why?
Amazing.
What is it? Do you guys? I mean,
Well,
since you're the resident Turks.
some guy left a comment I read, some Turkish guy. He's basically, it was like back in the early 2000s, it was the first free-to-play game translated to Turkish.
Okay.
So, and they're like the only company that actually targeted that market. And being old and low graphics was helpful in the early 2000s in Turkey. 'cause
Right.
people played on really old computers in PC centers. Like, they didn't have computers at home.
Yeah.
So it was. I remember when we were kids, we went to Turkey and we'd go to the cyber cafes, and the only games people could play were like Counter-Strike 1.6.
1.6
Yeah.
and this and StarCraft 1. Those are the games that were played in the net cafes.
And everybody loves their first MMO, so
Yeah.
there it is.
Yeah.
I played Dota in the cafes.
Yeah.
No, I disagree. Like, my first MMO was Clan Lord, and I can't go back to it. It's too old now.
Well, so again, not everything ages the same way either, but this shows the importance of first to market. I mean, you learn that guys in business school or something, but first to market matters a lot, which is why Night Online is unbelievably popular in Turkey. Like 90% of the player base is Turkish. But the game is in English, so if you want to check out the most popular MMORPG on Steam, you can.
Yeah. But
Will I get some donair?
Oh no!
Will I get
yeah,
donair if I play?
The Steam review is 34% positive, really? People leaving negative reviews for Night Online?
who would have thought?
Because the Turkish players aren't leaving reviews.
No.
Flife was fun, Mr. Arbas, and I liked Flife. I played that a lot too.
Again, it was only fun because it was really, one of the first free-to-play games that we played,
Yeah.
along with like Maple Story and a couple of other ones, but still.
Alright,
But my favorite Steam game, of course, is Warmode. All right, I'm all about that hurricane gameplay.
Hurricane.
Dude, we played some
gameplay.
yesterday.
All right, so Shu and I played a little bit of Warmode yesterday. Why I still play that game, God knows. But I find it pretty funny because I'm reading the description for Warmode, right? And I caught something because I caught the hurricane gameplay last time too. But they used a phrase I'm not really familiar with. Maybe you can explain to me what this means, or did they just make it up? It says try your hand at virtual battles with off-scale dynamics and hurricane gameplay. What is off-scale dynamics? Did they just make that up?
Dynamics. I don't know what that is.
Anybody? Off-scale dynamics. What the hell does that mean? I know hurricane gameplay is bullshit. So is off-scale dynamics
The
also
dynamics
bullshit?
are so crazy. They are off the scale. But that hurricane gameplay is sweeping everything off the scale.
All right, so we'll
It's
say
made
it's
up.
bullshit. It's made up bullshit from Warmode.
Definitely. It sounds good.
Yeah.
Props to them. You gotta
Hurricane gameplay.
So here's my favorite current review for Warmode, by the way. You can die randomly, which is true. You can just die randomly. You get assists for your own deaths. Yes, it happens. And guns have no recoil. Now that's the ticket. When you play Warmode, you just die randomly sometimes. Like there's literally nobody around you. You just die, right? And you look at your
Character's
kill
heart
score,
attack.
and it says you died. It doesn't say how you died, but you died.
I should write a review for.
You better give it a
Warmode.
5 out of 5. Excellent score.
Yo,
Have
Omar,
you
do
guys have you seen my reviews, Omar? I have
For
pretty
a
good
couple of them,
reviews.
yeah.
I wrote a new one recently. Oh, let me
You can look at me after.
find them.
Omar, do you know if Suba Games puts their games on Steam?
I don't think they do.
Because I was
No.
gonna say, there's another Suba Games has a game coming out, a relaunch of an old title, Luna Online.
Yeah.
And this game, I don't think it's gonna do as well as Night Online, obviously.
They put
But,
their
uh,
games on Steam.
Oh,
They have,
this game has a chance on Steam though. It's kind of cute.
What do they have on Steam, Sean?
Dream of Mirror Online and Divine Souls.
Divine
good
Souls? People... Nobody plays that game.
What doesn't matter if it's played or not, it's on Steam, man.
Alright,
It's
alright.
there, it's
It
ready.
is there, fine.
Actually, I have on Steam, one friend has played this game. So
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe somebody just tried it. It could have been me, actually.
it wasn't you.
There are 8 people on Divine Souls online right now on Steam. Alright, 8 people.
You're missing the 1,000 that are playing directly from Suba games.
Oh, of course. Alright, I have a funny story about Super Games.
Let's hear it. Well, I
Go
play some
ahead.
trailers of their old games.
Alright, Super Games, alright? I'm on Steam, I'm gonna see what it's called actually. Alright, I was on Steam, not Steam, I was on Skype, and this guy from Super Games messaged me, right? He has my contact from like 5 years ago, and he goes, "Hey Omar, I need to talk to you." I'm like, "Who is this guy and why does he want to talk to me?" Right? So I'm like, "Alright." And he calls me on Skype. I'm like, first of all, I don't know this guy well enough to just randomly start calling me, right? I'm like, whatever, I'm gonna pick up anyway, you know, because it might be something important. It might be gaming news related, right? So as soon as I pick up, he's like, "Okay, Omar, I need to do something for you right away." I'm like, "Wait, okay, what do you need?" He's like, I need you to go to the Grand Bazaar in Turkey, and I need you to buy me this like very specific item called a gramophone. Okay? I'm like, and then ship it to this address. Can you have it by next week? I'm like, whoa, hold on there. I don't know who the fuck you are. Why are you asking me to buy you something and ship it? And he's talking to me as if like he knows me, right? Like we're bros, you know? And like I have no idea who you are. I just know you work at Super Games. That's all I knew about him. And he's like, I'm like, wait, I'm like, I don't know who you think you are, but I don't know you. I'm not even in Turkey anymore. You're not in Turkey? I thought you were there. I'm like, yeah, like a couple months ago. And he's like,
I have a
oh.
gramophone.
And then like, okay, bye. I can't do this for you. I don't know why you think I can. So I hang up, and it was really weird, right? And a couple hours later, he messages me saying, "I'm so sorry. This wasn't meant for you. There's actually somebody that works at Super Games. His name is Omer as well."
Whoa!
He literally shares a name with me, and he's Turkish, that guy, right? And what made the story even more crazy is I was in Turkey 2 months ago, which is why it didn't feel that far-fetched. So
I need a gramophone now.
He's like, "I need this now. Ship it to me." I'm like, he's explaining, like, okay, it has to have these rustic details. It should be this big. I'm like, what the fuck?
You know, a gramophone's basically an old record player with a giant
Yeah.
cord.
I'll Google a picture of one.
They look-
for dear viewers.
Oh my
It's
god, they
pretty
caught
hilarious.
me. They caught me, Omer, in the chat. She
Wait.
played Warmode around 17 hours.
Yeah, I have some more mode time clocked in too.
What's your clock? What's your clock on Warmode?
I gotta unlock my Steam because I keep switching Steam accounts because in order to play CS:GO with you, I have to go on my other account.
Oh yeah.
I have a solid. Wait, it doesn't tell me on here. I'm on my dummy account, so I can't check right now. But I have at least as much as you, I would say.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, that's my Super Game story. It was pretty weird.
Interesting.
Leave it to Suba Games. That explains everything.
Yeah, they thought I worked for their Turkish team, which led to some confusion for a different game, but no need to confuse people, so we're not going to say it. There's also, I mean, Luna. It's weird that they're launching Luna Online again because there's already Luna Online private server. So why, why do they need to bring it back?
Just rolling the dice, see what sticks. I don't know.
I wonder if Domo is doing well. That game was pretty fun, actually.
I can't imagine any of Suba Games' games doing particularly well.
They're not really supported anymore.
Yeah, they focus on like abandoned games. Like, Shu called them the MMO Necromancer, and I feel like that really fits them perfectly. they literally bring back the dead games and don't even support them, and like they just kind of sit there, which in a way is pretty genius. They have a very niche business
It's called
model.
low overhead.
Very low overhead.
It's the hot hobby MMO necromancer.
The part-time.
He's not too serious. Not too serious. He just brings it back just for the hell of it, you know.
But like Divine Souls, why? This game was launched and literally nobody played it, right? And guess what? Nobody still plays it. Like, if they look, listen. If they paid more than $15 for this game, it wasn't worth it. All right. If they got it for $9.99, then you know what? It was probably worth it. All right. It's no more than $15 for the Divine Souls license.
I can happily say I never played it,
Good.
and I think I saved a year of my life by not playing Divine Souls. So
I don't think you would have spent the year of 2 time. If you
No, I
had
just
the fortune of playing this, you'd play for like 10 minutes and quit.
yeah, I'd lose a year of my life just from the cancer, just slowly getting stronger in my body from Suba Games.
So here's a Steam review for this Divine Souls game. It's a relic, a game abandoned 3 times by developers and publishers. So they literally abandoned it 3 times, and then Suba Games is like, "Hush, Divine Souls, don't you worry, baby, I'll take care of you." And then I guess they adopted Divine Souls. They're gonna keep it running forever.
Guns should be revived.
Yeah, at least bring back some fun games.
Well, didn't Mayet go out of business? Or Mayet?
I'm pretty sure Guns 2 is still up.
Well, Guns 2 got transferred to a different developer.
Did it really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Masangsoft.
That's why Raiders went down, because Mayet went out of business.
Yeah, we talked about it when as soon as Raiders was going down, we talked about it before, but I didn't know this got transferred.
Yeah, Guns 2 got transferred. Guns is down permanently, I think, and never coming back.
Masangsoft is the same company behind Ace Online or Bounty Hunt. It was called Ace Online and Wild.
The best name for Space Cowboys Online. That was the best name for that game.
Yeah,
I think that was back when G Potato had it.
See ya, Space Cowboy.
I think G Potato was the best name for.
For
G Potato as a whole was the best name for a game publisher ever. All right.
I agree.
Hey, you guys just remind me of something. I got a joke. Alright, I got a joke. What do Koreans eat in outer space?
I don't know.
Cowboy bibimbap.
I like it.
I got a Korean joke for you guys. So yesterday, my friend died. My Korean friend died. So young.
Aha!
Okay, transitioning out of this. I wanted to talk about LuckCatchers because it actually, despite the really horribly translated name, which I've heard is actually supposed to be something akin to adventurers, it looks kind of cool. It's kind of giving me Eve vibes. I played for about an hour and a half last night and spent basically the entire time running back and forth between cities doing trade jobs. Anyways, it's kind of an open world steampunk trading thing with, like, as you're going, you'll go across areas that have dragon nests, and you'll have to shoot down dragons with, like, actual shooter kind of combat.
I knew there'd be dragons if you brought it up.
Anyways, you can, like, become a governor of an area and rule over it and tax other players that have buildings in that area. You can build settlements in different areas. You can, it seems really cool.
It does look cool, but like this overworld, I'm watching this trailer with like the hot air balloon ship. It kind of reminds me of the FF7 overworld.
Yes, any Final Fantasy.
Well,
Yeah.
actually, that is the world. It's not the overworld. That is just the world.
Oh, that's cool.
Just the camera angle.
Yeah.
Yeah. And,
I like the fact it looks open world, so that's cool. It does look the graphics look a little dated, but that's fine as long if it's open world.
they are a little dated, and I had to turn the shadows off because they basically turned into a bunch of triangles that flickered on and off across the screen.
Nice.
But anyways, it's It's cool, but it's got realistic travel times, which means you have like
God.
15 to 20-minute travel times sometimes between.
Oh my god,
Places.
15, 20 minutes.
That is EVE
Yeah.
Online.
But you
nuts.
actually get to control it with the keyboard at least. It's not like you just click somewhere and go there.
This looks. It looks weird to see you just shooting down dragons with like a. Because one of the planes looked like a World War I fighter plane.
The dragons kind of seem random, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's based on novels. It's based on a
Oh.
series of novels by, I think, Alexei Pihov or something.
But how is that ship flying? Like the one like traditional looking ship? It just looks like it doesn't make sense how it flies.
It's like Treasure Planet. We don't talk about it.
We don't. Oh, they have anti-gravity propulsion underneath, right?
And then one thing that I thought was cool is I think there are actually like wind currents that'll blow your ship around if you have like one of the traditional kind of ships.
I like the name LuckCatchers. Might as well call it like Lucker Dogs.
Lucker dogs.
For some reason, it reminds me of Lucker Dogs. Yeah, looks. It's an indie title though, right?
As far as I'm aware, yeah, and it's not going to be pay to win. I mean, I know
Wow.
you're-
And they're not raising tons of money on Kickstarter.
no,
Wow, I already have respect for them.
So it's gonna
they're
be play to
building it
free.
out of pocket.
Well, speaking of a game that was trying to raise money on crowdfunding,
Oh god.
let's talk a little bit about Divergence Online, guys.
Oh god.
Oh.
I'm
are
just
we
gonna
doing
keep
it?
my
We
mouth
going into
shut.
it now?
I'm going to keep my mouth shut because I am going
It's
to.
a Duke.
like,
It's a Duke game.
my
with a-
soul was insulted by
with
this
a, with,
entire
with,
review.
with a pretty Duke developer team. And that's all I got to say about Divergence Online.
I think our editorial
Yeah.
answered everything.
Basically, the guy's a con man. Don't give this game money, and the whole project is just a con for him to pay off his traffic tickets. So
and his mortgage.
yes,
and-
yes.
Whoa. All right, yeah. Let's not bring too much personal stuff into
No,
it.
no personal information.
No
No, if he's asking money from the public, okay, fuck him. He's a scammer. I'm calling it.
Aaron's
Hey,
laying
you
down
guys,
the law.
you guys said traffic tickets. Don't start with me. Don't start with me.
Traffic tickets. Well, that's Divergence Online, boys.
Yes.
I've said this
Anyway.
before. Don't fund games on Kickstarter if the guy behind the game is not capable of delivering a product. All right, and unfortunately, that's a lot of Kickstarter projects.
Which, did you guys hear about Ant Simulator?
I'd heard it was on. I saw them on the front page of Reddit about them like blowing tons of money.
On booze and strippers.
They know how to
Kickstarter money.
Boom! That's where your Kickstarter money is going, guys.
That's awesome.
Booze and strippers.
At least they're honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least they're not trying to lie and change their name or something, you know? So, not that anyone would do that.
No.
Not that anyone would intentionally sue
No,
someone.
never,
for-
never.
All right. So yeah, be wary of Kickstarter games. I mean, I can't emphasize that enough. I mean, it's okay to
Also-
support indie devs, but make sure they're capable of making the game they promise.
Most Kickstarters are a scam. Don't give them money.
Hashtag probably a scam.
This is unfortunate because I think if enough bad press runs Kickstarter, you kind of kill crowdfunding, right?
I mean, I think as soon as Star Citizen crashes and burns, that's gonna kill crowdfunding for a while.
It'll come back as something respectable. Right now, crowdfunding is kind of in that phase where like Atari games were in, where like there was just a lot of shit coming out and then
Yeah.
crashed and the NES brought it back. So we need this crash to happen because people are just watching these little these little shitty teaser trailers on a Kickstarter page, right? And they're thinking it's so easy to make it look like you got a studio behind you today.
By using Unreal Engine assets, the default assets to make a trailer.
Yeah, people
Yeah.
are just too gullible.
It's too easy to create a very basic thing because like people, when you look at a Kickstarter page, you see a video, right, and you see like a world, like, oh, this guy clearly did something. You know, he's not just a nobody. He's got this trailer. You know, but the way engines work today, it's so easy to create like a basic world. It's everything else that's really hard and making it a real game. So just based on a simple trailer, you can easily deceive. Because again, things like Unity are free to start using, so it doesn't cost them any money to do. And you don't need
Those
any
Unreal
development skills
Engine.
to make those basic worlds.
And apparently Kickstarter games don't even make sure they have the right to songs now.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, that's enough coverage for some dookie Kickstarter
Yeah,
games.
agreed.
Here's a game that I thought, this trailer looked kind of nice, didn't it? Look at this trailer. It's a early access, some Minecraft-like MMO by a Korean studio. I have more respect for Korean indie studios for some reason. I feel like they get shit done.
Like what?
Well, this game, I actually played it when they had the demo server online at the end of the last year, and so far it has not managed to escape the shadow of Minecraft at all.
Nobody can escape that shadow.
I mean, it's an MMO. You play on a server, and it has like blocks of area that you can adventure through, and it's got a nice little ecosystem going. But it's like so far it is nothing.
This looks like
unique.
Trove.
It is nothing close to Trove.
The graphics is totally different. They're still blocky, but not the same way.
It's nothing close to Trove. It's closer to Minecraft.
There's other Minecraft-like game I did a video for, which is actually really solid, like visually and gameplay wise. I forgot what it's called for a second. Creativerse. It's kind of like Creativerse, isn't it?
I never played Creativerse.
Think Minecraft, but slightly different.
Oh,
Well-
good. That invokes an image.
Yeah, I mean, it really does. Okay, in your mind, think Minecraft, but slightly different.
The one big feature about Islet Online that's either going to make or break it is how they do the skill system, because it's skills that level with use.
All right, take a
All
look.
I see are people hurling arrows randomly at each other, just hoping to get a hit. It looks like Rust in that way.
Speaking of Rust, guys, there is another survival open world open PvP game coming out.
On Kickstarter?
Not on Kickstarter, actually. This game is by Funcom.
Conan.
It's called Conan Exiles. So it's basically Funcom is basically a sinking ship, and they're like, all right, we gotta fire some shots, see what sticks. And
That game has nudity and sacrificing other players.
yeah, like
I mean,
Rust.
that's kind of cool.
Rust has that. So basically, it's Rust with Conan.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting.
Wait,
but
you can sacrifice other players?
yeah, that sounds pretty cool, doesn't
Yeah.
it?
Oh, damn.
Yeah. I don't want to bash. I don't want to come off like I'm bashing Funcom. They are doing bad, but I think their turnaround strategy, like, they're old MMORPGs, whether it's Anarchy Online or Age of Conan, aren't doing that well, right? But I think they're trying to pivot to like smaller games, like this one, like open sandbox, whatever. Is such a smarter idea than what Turbine did. We tried to make a MOBA, right? Which is like
A very high
impossible.
budget MOBA on a big franchise.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it was-
I think Funcom is smart to do this, and they have a shot at it.
If they make a Conan or Secret World MOBA, I will like lose my shit.
Oh man, a Conan MOBA would just be like a terrible idea, I think.
I think
Secret
Conan will
World
work
MOBA.
as a survival game.
The
though.
Secret World isn't like a franchise to be like MOBA made.
No MOBA, no MOBA. Funcom, if you're listening, no MOBA.
I disallow it, alright?
Yes, I disallow it. You know
Don't
the problem
do it.
is, like,
Okay, wait. Dead Island Epidemic style Conan MOBA. Yes
Don't
or
do
no?
it. Don't do it, Funcom.
Don't do it.
I refuse to let you. You don't have my permission. But the cool part is you can sacrifice other players because that gives you a reason to be an asshole. Because in Rust, like, you see a naked guy, right? And you have like you get fully geared. Like, you may not want to kill him. There's nothing to gain by killing him. But at least
You can eat him, can't you?
But it's not worth it, you know, because the food you get from the human meat is not even that good.
No.
So it's not really worth killing naked. You just kind of do it sometimes. But in Conan Exiles, there's a reason to. You can sacrifice him. It gives you like an excuse to be an asshole, which I like. Not that I need an excuse, but it's nice. It justifies my actions.
Yeah.
It's definitely it's a story and a world that lends itself to being a survival game more so than I'd say an MMORPG or any other genre because it's a bunch of barbarians warring against each other.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't think the franchise has any cachet anymore.
Any relevance to that?
Yeah, relevant.
No, it doesn't.
But the thing is, at least, like, we play a lot of games, right? And my point is, like, we're willing to try the next sandbox Rust style game because no one really takes it seriously. We jump in, we have fun, we kill each other, right?
Yeah.
But a MOBA, on the other hand, like, we have thousands of hours invested in our current MOBAs. So to try to get us to change is such a big ask.
That's a good point.
So I think Funcom is much smarter than Turbine was with
There's
that.
friction in a MOBA too. You have to learn 100 different
Well, exactly.
heroes,
You
all
need to
their
invest
abilities.
at least 1,000 hours to be mediocre.
Well, I played Rust for at least a couple hundred hours now, but I still don't. I would still try another open world MOBA because
Exactly.
even though you played a lot, it's easier to jump into.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
open world sandbox style games are easier to jump into than MOBAs.
Conan Flappy Bird, genius. Somebody hire Two Claw, make him head of design.
There actually are 2 more Conan games by Funcom that are yet unannounced. So they announced they had 3 games in, projected, and Conan Exiles is just one.
How much money you want to put on one being a Connect 3 mobile game?
A Connect 3.
Match the three
Conan.
match the three Conan heads.
Yeah, genius. But yeah, it's Funcom is not doing great though, guys. Let me pull up a stock chart for Funcom.
This is the fun stuff.
Oh,
Funcom is was it Perfect World, or isn't it, or
no.
is that someone else?
No.
Perfect World.
They're
Funcom is Norwegian.
they're the secret world.
Yeah.
All right, here's what Funcom's up to, boys. That 5-year chart. I mean, apparently they were doing really well in 2012, and then since then it's been. But surprisingly, they've been just hugging that low.
They're actually raising more money. They're going to issue more shares, and they have a turnaround plan. Maybe I'll cover it in an editorial like today or tomorrow.
Did you guys ever see the new Anarchy Online client?
Yes, I did.
It looks
briefly.
basically exactly the same with new lighting, and it took them years.
Wow.
Fun fact: Anarchy Online is actually their saving grace. That's their cash cow. Still.
All right. What's even funnier too is all of Funcom today is worth $16 million US. So think of it this way: Clash of Clans can buy all of Funcom in like 3 days of revenue. 3 days of Clash of Clans, 3 days of like Game of War. Boom! You can buy all of Funcom.
Not a good sign.
A lot of these, like, I want to say, core MMORPG studios are all struggling, really. Like, Turbine, Funcom, even SOE, which is now Daybreak.
Yeah.
Like, they're all kind of living off their first game, like EverQuest.
But why could they pivot to like mobile games or browser games? I feel like none of them are really doing a good job.
No, but
Besides
I think
maybe Nexon.
yeah,
But they don't really have any mobile games either.
not yet. They have a few.
They announced a bunch.
They
They
have, yeah,
announced a bunch.
Mabinogi.
The 2016 is their big mobile push.
We got Mabinogi card game.
Yeah, Mabinogi Duel.
Nabinogi Duel's alright.
But is it popular? Is it making money in the West?
Who knows?
Who knows?
That I don't know.
7,000 votes on Google Play. I cannot translate that to cash though, unfortunately.
But I don't know. I think a lot of them are pretty stubbornly holding on to the idea that they're still MMORPG studios exclusively.
Yeah, I think so too. But that's the only reason not to switch. If you look at some of these Chinese companies, for example, I was looking at a lot of them out of curiosity. I was researching them. Companies like ChangYou, Perfect World, and even both these game companies were living off their legacy games, like in China. Like Perfect World and J Dynasty were making tons of money for Perfect World, but they were always on the way down. And they just started embracing mobile games, and now mobile games are such a big percent of their revenue already. So they eventually decided to make the move to mobile, and now they're making tons of money. I feel like a lot of Western companies haven't.
Well, another problem with mobile games is that you have to have a stricter development cycle because you have to have new mobile games coming out all the time.
Yeah,
Because
the life cycle is a lot shorter.
unless you're like Clash of Clans or Game of War, you're not going to have that mobile game to rely on a year later. You can see it with a lot of the like the ChangYou reports that just came out. They had mobile
One game,
games
Dragon 3D, I know.
they had mobile game from last year. It's already like 40% down, even consider, and they had another 50% uptake because they released 3 other games.
Yep, I know. It almost always works like that for these mobile games.
Speaking of a studio that made that transition, last week a pretty classic free-to-play MMORPG that maybe a lot of listeners have heard of, Tales of Pirates, finally shut down. And this
Rest of pepperoni.
Yeah, this is by IGG. They kind of got into the whole free-to-play MMORPG game early, so they captured a lot of more people than they deserved. To be honest, like the game was kind of mediocre in every way. But
I think mediocre is generous.
It kind of highlights that whole transition, though, right? You guys were talking about.
It was better than God's War. Let's put it that way.
Yeah,
God's War was automated. You didn't play anything.
IGG had so many games, right, guys? Like I remember Myth War Online.
Yes.
They had like a
Myth War is back.
What, really?
Myth War 2. It got published by another developer.
Wow, that game is old school.
TDT.net.
That's like one of the only turn-based MMORPGs besides Atlantica, right?
Yeah, I've been told. No, it's not even close to one of the only ones. There's also
Dofus,
Wonderland,
Wakfu,
Wonderland, Digimon RPG.
Crossmaster,
Wonderland.
Rollmaster.
Wonderland was also by IGG, right? Was that turn-based?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oxnora, I guess.
Box Store is
what-
different,
I don't count
totally different kind of
Pastora.
game.
I don't even count Dofus and stuff. That's more like tactics RPG. Now I'm talking about like the whole like battle like FF like mainline FF.
Digimon RPG.
All right,
Yeah.
fair.
Digimon Battle was like that, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that game did shut down for good. Tales of Pirates. Yeah. But again,
IGT still has a huge stable up though. They have Voyage Century, they have Angels Online, they have.
I think they just have Angels Online now, right?
No, that's the only one advertised on the homepage. If
Oh.
you click, they still have a few other ones.
but like they're clearly embarrassed about Voyage Century because they're hiding it off their homepage.
Well, Bounty Bay isn't doing too well either.
Yeah, it's the same game, right? Just a different name.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think they're gonna shut down all their games, all their client games, because if you read the announcement about them shutting down Tales of Pirates, it says move to try our other games, right? And they don't even list their other client games. They list like these stupid mobile games as their games to transition to.
Because
Well-
those are the games that make money.
One thing to note is that Galaxy Online, the MMORTS, actually started as a client game and was moved to mobile.
All right, I want to show you guys something. This is some financial metrics, boys. In case you guys are curious, take a look at this. This is IGG's investor presentation.
Wow.
So it's a little bit dated. This is the newest one on their website, I believe. It does seem a little bit old, but it's for some reason this came out. Yeah, this is the newest one on here. So take a look at where their money comes from. Just scroll down. You can see what countries they operate in, what games they have. But the cool part is you can see their revenue too. But there should be a chart breaking down their games, mobile games, browser games, and PC games. Look at slide number 11. That's the first half of 2015. So first half of last year.
Oh,
Wow.
that's
Look at the
big.
client-based games. Look at the client-based games. And this is worldwide.
Wow.
Others doesn't even exist anymore.
And look at the transition from fiscal year 14 to first half of 15. So from 2014 to 2015, look at the difference too. Client-based games went from 2% to 0.9%.
Browser's cut in half.
And browsers cut in half too. Mobile is literally taking over the world for IGG. I mean, before IGG just had PC, they just had client games, and they embraced mobile, and now they're making a killing off it.
You know what impresses me the most about IGG? This slide number 13. Look at their revenue split between the continents. It's pretty nice, like even.
Yeah, because their mobile games in America
Yeah.
make money too.
Yeah.
Wow, they make more money in North America than Asia. That's like contrary to almost every other Asian company.
Exactly. That's why I was very impressed by that.
So what's interesting too is I
What's
find
int-
I find these investor relation things very interesting for these game companies.
What's interesting is that Castle Clash is making over 50% of all their revenue.
It's typically like that too. Look at for Nexon, Dungeon Fighter Online makes like 40% of revenue, doesn't it? Close to probably.
Clash of Clans built Supercell.
So while we're looking at some financial metrics, there's one last one I want to show you because I find this data interesting. Maybe other people will too. Some other things we can highlight over here. If you scroll down to slide number 8 on Nexon's investor presentation, you can see like Nexon's we consider a pretty mainstream publisher in America. We see a lot of their free-to-play games, and they have some pretty big titles. But look at their revenue split. Look at North America. All of North
4%.
America.
Yeah, wow.
Like everything we see from Nexon, right, as pretty much Western North American gamers, is 4%.
Wow.
Like everything in America is a rounding error for Nexon. 4%. That's nuts.
Well, to be honest, everything but Korea and China is a rounding error for.
Well, at least Japan makes up more than America and Europe combined, and
Yeah.
Europe is others, so they include the rest of the world there. Like 10% is still worthwhile there.
Well, fun fact: Nexon is actually based officially in Japan.
Yeah.
That's where they trade,
Yep.
even though they're a Korean company.
They have headquarters in Japan too.
Yep.
I'm sure it's some crazy tax reasons, because otherwise I don't think it makes sense. Tax reasons that we don't understand.
Oh, I understand them, dude.
But if you want to see what else they're working on, scroll down to page.
Don't
18.
tell me I don't understand them.
All right, but in case you guys, you people listening, are curious, like what games these big companies are working on, like if they haven't announced anything yet, you're curious. If you look at their investor presentations, they usually outline like what they see coming in the future. So you can see like what some upcoming games on here, like on page 18. Nexon's working on mobile Lego.
Tera Mobile.
Tera Mobile, yeah, they're doing Tera Mobile. They're gonna be doing Moonlight. Well, they're
Counter Strike Online 2? What the fuck? There was a Counter Strike Online 1?
Yeah, sure. It's the same exact game as that Nexon Zombies, but like, yeah, it's the same game.
Without the zombies.
Yeah, there you go. You know, guys, Need for Speed Edge is coming out. That's gonna be a pretty edgy game, right?
I'm so pumped.
But again, they don't break down which of these are gonna come out in America. I mean, First Assault, obviously. Lawbreakers, we know is gonna come out here. Like, what is Hyper Universe though?
I don't know.
Hyper Universe.
Hyper Universe Online.
Where's my Mabinogi 2?
Yeah, guys, there's no Mabinogi 2 yet.
It's over.
Yeah, nothing on that yet.
The dream is over.
It's a side scroller. Kind of looks like DFO. It's just another side scroller.
Just another side. You can't.
Well, okay, that didn't sound right.
Hmm.
Oh, this is the game. I remember this game. They have all their franchise characters. I think there's a Power Ranger in here.
Oh wow.
We talked about this in a previous podcast and just forgot about it.
One last thing I want to highlight on this before we close and with something else. Go to slide number 28.
No,
This shows that
I've
Nexon.
had that closed.
Okay, if I forget it then. Close it out. Close it out. All right.
I want to see it. What's on slide 28? Oh.
You can see where Nexon's gonna be growing in the West. They're gonna be buying a lot more studios. That's pretty much what they're outlining.
Well, they're working on that new game by Cliff Bleszinski, right? Lawbreakers.
Lawbreakers.
Hyper Universe looks like someone retooled Mega Man Online.
There you go. Let's transition to our weekly raid, Sean. It's worth mentioning.
We'll do a wrap up of last week real quick. It seems that Facebook is the place to go where people are posting comments. I got a couple interesting ones. The funniest thing I thought was how many people came out and said, "Screw you guys for saying Fallout should be turned into an MMO.
Yeah.
Don't root another franchise." A lot of people were pissed about the Elder Scrolls Online and said that, considering Bethesda screwed up Elder Scrolls Online, there shouldn't be a Fallout MMO. I thought that was unfair because it's a thought experiment, but people were pretty passionate. A few interesting ideas though were a Harry Potter MMO, something that I think would work.
That already
really well.
exists, guys. Just play Wizard 101.
There you go. Wizard 101 is.
Case closed. Few other pretty interesting ones. Pokemon, of course, came up. One guy said Sonic the Hedgehog. I don't think so.
Did anyone on Facebook say Magic the Gathering?
Nobody said Magic the Gathering. No.
Oops, I mean
A
fudge.
Pokemon MMO already exists too. It's called Monster MMORPG or whatever.
Yeah,
So that's terrible.
people want an actual Pokemon MMO.
One day.
So we had a few interesting ideas. I think the Magic the Gathering was great. A Naruto one, a real Naruto MMO. That's not made by a Chinese company. Was also in demand.
I don't think we're going to see a lot of Asian franchise MMORPGs anymore. I think, especially Japanese, we're just going to see mobile games.
Japan is big on mobile games already. All the big mobile, like a lot of the big mobile games come from Japan.
This is like a different subject, but I do want to like throw it out, plant it in your heads for maybe next time or something. I think the Japanese entire game industry is going to move to mobile. Like everything else is dead, or not dead, but will be dead in the years to come.
Well, the Japanese MMO is pretty much dead as is.
Yeah,
And
that's been
you've got-
dead.
You've got Square Enix and Phantasy Star Online too, and then that's pretty much it.
No, I'm going so far as to say consoles are going to be dead in Japan. It's going to be all mobile, baby.
Really, that's
I
a pretty
really
bold
doubt
statement.
that. I really doubt that. Nintendo and Sony are still pretty big.
And they're going to be pushing out console games for a long time.
We'll see.
I mean, I know that Microsoft only sold like 53 Xboxes in one of these past weeks, but
Wow.
everyone else is still doing pretty well in Japan.
Well, transitioning away from what MMOs we wish might have existed, which was just a thought experiment, now we want to know what MMO are you most hyped for, or were you most hyped for in the past? Because hype plays a big role in how we perceive upcoming games. We talked a lot in today's podcast about Black Desert. I think we mentioned Albion and a few others that are scheduled for this year, and how getting excited for a game kind of amps us up to play it. You know, I was pumped to play WildStar. Everyone told me it was going to be the killer for World of Warcraft. And then I played it, and for something I still haven't figured out, it just didn't stick. But the hype, I was all aboard the hype train, and then it kind of crashed into a brick wall.
So you drank the Kool-Aid.
I drank the Kool-Aid happily, and then I realized I was in Jonestown, so...
All right. So while looking through this list, I've heard of all of these except Gloria Victus. So I am not hyped about that. I'll just say that.
It's just funny because I've posted about that a lot.
I don't know. Just just doesn't.
You just
stick.
skim through it because it doesn't look that exciting.
Yeah, to me, I guess. But to answer the question about what I was most hyped about in recent history, which is not that recent anymore, Star Wars: The Old Republic. I was reading the forums. I pre-ordered it. I got it in day one, and I didn't. Obviously, I didn't stick, but I did get to max level in my free month. So I did play like 12 hours a day. I was that guy,
So the hype train got you all the way to max level.
Yeah, and I had fun.
That's the last
I enjoyed my 1 month in Star Wars: The Old Republic. I don't regret that at all.
It's a fair answer. Anyone else? Anyone else feel the hype?
Well,
Fierce Saber still for me.
All right.
back in the day, I was excited for Twilight War, the shooter MMO that was gonna like change everything by being able to shoot dinosaurs in real time, and then it never happened. Apparently, a few alpha testers or pre-orders or something got a hold of it for a while, and it was basically just an MMO Counter-Strike clone.
Yeah.
Ragnarok Online 2 was the worst type, though.
Oh my god, the worst. That was the biggest disappointment.
That's
It
true.
was
Good thing I didn't
horrible.
care.
What a
That game.
what a punch in the gut, you know?
Right?
It's like, some people like played Ragnarok Online 2 when it first launched on Steam, and they're like everyone's hyped, everyone's ready for it, and then you play an hour, you're like what is this? Like, this can't be Ragnarok Online 2. We were promised something, and you keep thinking it's gonna get better, right? And the more you play, the more you realize how awful it is, and it's not gonna get better. It was like the ultimate disaster.
The thing about hype is it never really lives up to what you wanted. I always end up becoming jaded halfway through, and it's just the hype just creates this perfect archetype, this perfect game in my mind, and then it never ends up being that. And I think that hype has an issue that way, where we get ourselves too amped. Like,
Yeah.
you read the forums, the communities, you go to Reddit. Our MMORPG loves it. It's the first game they've loved for the last year, and then it just kind of fades away. Like, I think Blade and Soul right now is in its hype phase, and I forget where I think the charts on the site somewhere you see the rate at which players leave a game over time.
Oh, yeah,
and eventually
so
end up with
quick.
your core player base. And I think that happens for everything.
I think Blade and Soul kind of avoided the hype because they were hyped, but then they got delayed for 3 years in America, and they lost that hype. So I think
Yeah.
they launched with minimal hype.
I think I can honestly say the only time I've ever bought into hype was Final Fantasy VII, and then I was sorely disappointed.
Wait,
Hey,
you were
Matt.
around when that? Well, how old were you when that game came out? Like
Yeah,
5?
Matt.
No, I mean,
baby.
I tried it.
recently.
I played it like in 2010.
Okay,
Oh,
again, it's like you have to be hype at the moment, you know?
yeah. Hype doesn't carry over. You gotta
It doesn't
be.
carry over.
But I think hype is a good experience. Like I've said it before on this podcast, where for a lot of people, gaming today is more about the hype and community around the hype than the game itself.
Yeah, that's fair.
No, not for me.
Not for you.
It's
not
about
for
the
you.
game.
But
I think a lot
but
of
the
people,
hype brings
though-
people together.
Hype is binding for the
Like,
community.
think about the average guy when I say average, the average guy who spent money on Star Citizen, like let's say over $200, right? Already. The past 2-3 years, how many hundreds of hours of gameplay did he get from following the forums, talking about it with his friends?
He got a lot of value if you look
Yeah,
at
he
it that way.
got hundreds of hours of gameplay from Star Citizen.
You got some drama.
Yeah.
They could have hired a better guy to create drama than that. What's his name? Derek Smart, right? Like,
Very
yeah.
smart.
it's literally like a soap opera being played out in front of you.
Yeah.
So
And to me, that counts as gameplay, right? So even if Star Citizen shuts down today, to me, it lasted for 3 years. Like that was just like this counts. This counts as launch.
that's funny, boys. So when the game launches, it's actually over. It's only going downhill from there.
Yeah, pretty much. For a lot of these hardcore audience, at least.
That's pretty funny though, but it describes the hype pretty accurately though.
And I think for a lot of people, Tree Saber kind of was that carrot on a stick that's always in front of them, right? I think they were following the development.
Okay, I want to throw a game I was really hyped for in the fall of the MMO raid. Everybody, leave your comments on the MMOs.com for the post so you can share. We're curious what you want to say too. But StarCraft 2, it's not an MMO.
Oh,
It's not an
yeah.
MMO.
Oh, that was a big
That's
one.
okay.
It describes my hype pretty well. Little story, the day it came out, the morning it came out, I got up, I looked at it, right? And our friend James, he calls me on my phone, right? I pick up, he's like, oh my god, did you see? I'm like, oh my god, I saw. And I was literally the hype level was through the roof, you know? And the only thing they revealed, right, was on the Blizzard page for StarCraft 2, was I think Raynor, or Tychus with his cigar, and it's like it's about damn time, right? And
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And that was it. And like, I couldn't calm down for that day. I was so excited. And like, I was on Reddit, I was on forums, everyone was talking about the hype, and it was amazing. That feeling was like a rush. So that captured my hype quite a bit.
Did not live up to it.
No, it lived up to when I played. I enjoyed it a lot, so I did get a lot of value out of it. And I wasn't disappointed at launch. I was disappointed after launch.
So I guess for you, it was I played with you during the time. It was kind of like the Star Wars thing, where I did enjoy it.
I got a lot of fun out of it.
I got my $50 or whatever, right? $60. But it was no StarCraft 1.
In terms of lasting power, yeah, obviously.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I got my value out of it, and I played for a couple of seasons too, and I got the max ranking in a couple of seasons before the Grandmaster one came out. I was never Grandmaster. That was my hype story.
Cool.
Anybody else have anything to share? Sean, Matt, Shu?
Well, Sean shared his, right?
Shu. Anything else that you were hyped for before?
I put a French fry in my mouth when you called me out.
You know what game I was really hyped for and it actually worked out? And it had to do with the community I ended up... It was Final Fantasy XIV. I played the closed beta, and I played with a friend, and that's probably why I think the hype stuck, is that I didn't go in alone. And then because I had a guild in the game, and we were raiding and stuff, it worked out. But I mean, I was really hyped. I was like, I finally found an MMO to get absorbed in, and it all worked out. And that almost never happens with any game that I buy. Like, I get hyped for early access a lot, or I did in the past, and I was like, oh, this is the survival game I'm finally going to stick with, and it just never pans out, which is why I did not buy Heartworld. So that was the one time I think I was hyped, and I really did love the game, and I had a ton of fun, and the hype was actually valid.
Right, fair enough.
I think
Alright.
Smash Brothers was my biggest hype.
Which
One
one?
on 64.
Really?
Really?
Well,
But I didn't know what to expect of Smash Bros. 64 when I heard about it. You know?
I thought it was
It
going to be
I'm
like
young.
Marvel vs. Capcom, but like, I liked it, but I was like really hyped. I like pre-ordered and stuff, and I don't usually do that.
Alright, boys, I got one. And this is MMO related, kind of. Diablo 3? Well, I mean, we had Path of Exile set, right? So why not Diablo 3?
Yeah.
So hyped, you know. I was there the hour it went live. I'm just trying to log in over and over again, right? It's just kicking me out. It's not letting me log in because the servers are crashing.
Yeah.
We're finally getting with a friend of mine. We play I think 18 hours straight to beat it in like the first couple hours, as soon as it came out, and then we're like we beat it like 4 times in one night, like 'cause it's like hell, like normal, difficult, whatever. And then we get to the end, right? And we're just like, this is it. Like, this is what we waited like 10 years for. It just didn't live up to Diablo 2.
But the experience is still fun, all right? It's like the hype actually, it's almost like the people that camp outside the Apple Store or like for Black Friday and stuff. It's the experience, that makes it fun.
Yeah, I got my $60.
I like the hype sometimes.
I got my $60 worth, right? But it was no Diablo 2.
Yeah, but in that situation, I think the hype is okay. When you get your money's worth, you had fun. But like in a game like Ragnarok Online 2, when your hype is there and you just get a big punch
nothing.
in the gut,
Yeah, I guess.
In that moment, it's like the hype betrays you. The hype sword cuts both ways, boys.
It's true.
Have you guys ever camped out somewhere for something?
Camped? No.
I haven't.
Nope.
Well, we're not those guys, I guess.
No.
Yeah, honestly, like, I feel like I'm missing out on the experience, though. I feel, you read on the news sometimes, like, every Black Friday, at least one guy just gets trampled and dies, right? It happens once. I feel like I want to participate in that. Not that's
The trampling part?
No. But maybe I want to be in the same store as that guy. Just to, like,
You heard it here first. Omer wants to trample people on Black Friday.
I want to experience that, all right?
I slept on a sidewalk once for something.
What?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too, but I wasn't camping for anything. I was just passed out in the sidewalk.
I was actually waiting for something. It was kind of spontaneous. Like, I wasn't gonna do it, so I didn't have anything. And I just ended up just sleeping on the floor, on the sidewalk.
Okay, so that comment in chat reminded me another feature that people seem to see as a deal breaker: both 2-faction and 3-faction PvP,
Both 2 and 3?
depending on the person.
Games usually have 2 or 3. It's not usually both.
No. Both of them have been called deal breakers by different people.
Oh, why?
that's
Faction
true.
PvP?
Why? Which
No,
one was
2
faction
faction,
PvP?
3 faction. They've both been.
I don't
called
know. That's something that I've seen a lot. People are like, I don't like 2 faction PvP. It has to be 3 faction.
Do
People
they
are
give a reason,
3
or they just
factions,
go,
too
I
many."
don't like it, I don't like it, and then
Oh,
Just
they-
go, I
they-
don't like it.
I've read both explanations. Basically, 3 kind of keeps everyone in check. 2 can gang up on 1, but if it's
Yeah.
just 2, then if the server gets lopsided, it's kind of screwed up. Which there's merit to, because
Yeah,
in WoW
happened
today,
in WoW.
all the big servers are like 90% Horde or 90% Alliance. So on those servers,
Planesol
there's no
does something
PvP.
interesting with that, actually. So, first off, you can only PvP people if you have the uniform on, right? You have to wear your faction uniform. And you can actually switch factions in Blade and Soul. But if the other faction has too many people, you can't switch.
So it keeps it fair.
Yeah. So, like, it's even. It was actually originally, like, heavily red when I joined, but now it's about balanced. I joined blue because that just means more people are frag.
Plus, blue is my favorite color. That's the reason I joined blue.
We have the best uniform. The other people, their officer's uniform looks like a bathrobe. It's nasty.
We can keep this going in the overtime, guys.
All right, yeah, it's getting good.
Yeah, it's getting late there. So we're gonna call it for the podcast. Thanks
Yep.
for listening, guys, and we'll see you on Sunday.
See ya, guys.
Later,
What
guys.
are we playing? What are we playing?
We'll figure it out then.
Overtime. You gotta watch overtime to figure it out. All right, guys.
All
Bye.
right.